What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. We saw it, we heard a lot about this game, and there's plenty of details to go over, and there's also my opinion. You can see by the title, you can probably see by the thumbnail. This is a game, and I want to kind of get this out in the beginning, okay? Machine Games is an incredibly talented team, and that's actually why it's so, kind of conflicting with this game. Because I think they're going to nail what they're trying to do, okay? What they set out to do with this game, I think they're going to do it. And I think generally the game looks awesome, okay? They've made some really great games. So I think they're going to nail that. On the negative side, why am I torn, you might say? First person. Now, I get it. I absolutely get it. They are known for that. That's their bread and butter. That's why they're good. Part of the reason, at least, right? It's why they're good at a lot of the games that, you could say make them so legendary, as a studio. But I really, really think an Indiana Jones game should be third person. Maybe it's because of the Uncharted's and Tomb Raiders of the world. But the way I look at it is, when they talk about first person and they say, we want you to feel like you're in it, you're right there. Right, actually, in that sentence, there was a specific line I'm thinking of. I can't remember it word for word, but I thought in my head, well, you keep saying us, like we, the player. But the issue is, and I think this is what first person versus third person is, we are Indiana Jones. We are playing as Indiana Jones. So when you play as first person, now, yes, there are plenty of games you play as first person, and it's a legitimate character in the video game. But also, when you play first person in some games, it's making your own, right? You think of some of the great RPGs, of our lifetime, and you're playing first person. Now, maybe, again, you can also play third, but why do you play first person? You are that character. That's who you created them. You're going around and you're doing it all. Now, yes, there's other reasons, and they talk about other reasons, right? Like to feel the impact, and you can see his bloody fists and all this stuff. But that's at least how I look at it. And so right there, though, in their explanation, I feel like is kind of the problem. We are playing this game to play it as Indiana Jones, not to play it as ourselves. We are not creating a character, and that's who we're playing as in this game. We are playing as him, an established character. So I just feel to pull it back, to be third person, to be able to see him doing the whip and punching and getting into these fist fights and, all of that stuff. That I feel like would be better off third person. Now you could say, what do I know? And that's totally fair. Again, I think the experience that they're going for in first person, I think it's going to work. I think this is going to be a really good game. I think it's more about preference, right? If you wanted it to be third person, I get it. I know why it's first person. I didn't really expect it to not be, considering where it came from. But, again, I think I would have preferred myself third person. But the game itself, my dear God, this is everything you want from it, right? It is the classic kind of Tomb Raider, Uncharted. This Indy has his wit, has his charm, has his jokes. You see plenty of fighting, and the fighting does actually look really, really good. You see kind of on rails, moments when he's shooting down planes, right? There's a lot of really cool moments that we see. Puzzles. They talk about side puzzles. There's going to be puzzles in the main game, but a lot of it you're going to kind of have to go off the beaten path, and there can be some pretty, complex, and thorough puzzles if you do that. So I think this game is honestly going to be the Uncharted and Tomb Raiders fan, in which I'm a really big Uncharted guy. This is going to be, I think, a game specifically for me, right? Considering those games are, you wouldn't have those games without Indiana Jones as a, franchise in general. So I'm all in, and I think they're going to tell a great story. Again, character story, set piece. They talk about kind of what their bread and butter is. I believe them, and I agree with them. It's just simply, again, that third person versus first. Now, when I'm recording this, the Game Awards did tweet that it is Troy Baker. In fact, actually now I'm seeing discussing film. So I don't think this was apparent right away. They didn't say it in the actual developer direct, but it does seem like it was confirmed minutes later. It's Troy Baker. It sounded like it. I guess, okay, here's one other, thing I'm a little unsure of. It definitely sounded like Troy Baker trying to do a Harrison Ford impression. And funny enough, and this is a really weird coincidence, this morning I was looking for something just to hear. I like to have background kind of noise going on when I'm doing stuff, and I found Harrison Ford on Conan O'Brien on his podcast, and Harrison Ford literally said in that one thing is that there's not a lot of good impersonators on him. And I just considering he said that, and I heard it 5 hours ago, maybe that was not for the best, right? Because now it's like, okay, I'm hearing it is Troy Baker. I'm hearing Troy, but then I'm hearing him trying to do an Indy impression. Again, there's really no easy way around that one. You know what I mean? Anytime, like, it's an Indiana Jones game, so you're trying to literally be Harrison Ford, and like he's kind of one of a kind. You know, that's what makes him so special, right? He is a legend. So anybody would have made it seem like they were, trying to be him, but it's hard for me to describe, but that would be another kind of weakness. There were some moments, I think, of the audio that sounded better than others. There were some clips that they showed off where, to me, it just sounded like he was trying to force the impression over just like being Indiana Jones. But again, like, I'm not going to hold it against. I think Troy Baker is a very talented guy, and obviously he's been in like 1,000 games. I think it should be fine. Probably going to have to just get used to it. Now that I have gotten used to this one, but it's almost like, say, Halo, right? Like the Halo show, it not being the classic voice. No, I don't think that's gone over well, but maybe like, I don't know, Pedro Pascal, right, as Joel, and I think like that's worked out pretty well. It takes a little, right? You have to kind of get used to it, and then it's all fine. That's probably, the stage of grief that I'm in with Troy. But overall, this was easily the showstopper, right? Like, this was the big one. They waited to the end to show it. 2024, no actual dates, which probably, to me at least, means November at the earliest. You're not getting this game before that. Avowed is probably that, September or so game. So this game would be November, maybe even December, maybe even delayed to 2025. That's what this game feels like, at least to me. But this is a must get. Like, I'm getting this game day one. I know I said a couple gripes, with the game in this video, but I'm very excited. It was easily the biggest thing that they showed. I'm a big Hellblade person, so Hellblade 2 always stands out to me. But Indiana Jones was awesome. Okay, so let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.